push the button and I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm on.
You're on. You're always ready.
Always.
Like, ready.
Always
She's
ready.
always ready. You heard her. All right. Well, with that being said, this is RadioOnFire.com. Yours truly, Tommy K, in here. As always, I'm always ready. Like, if the glasses are on. And the glasses are on. I am joined, special guest. I'm going to let you introduce yourself.
Are these all on?
These are on.
All right. So I'm Katie Marie.
Katie Marie, in the building. Okay. All right. She's in the building. I'm glad that you're here. A lot of things I want to talk about with you. If you don't mind. This is not your first rodeo.
No,
This is not your first time. I know you wanted me to sit over there with you. But I need notes. I need computer. I need to be able to hit the button.
It's fine.
Whenever I say something funny or insightful, I need applause.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, of course, your book is out now, right?
Sure.
Elevation has a price tag. Started as a hashtag.
Right.
Be more specific.
I'm the hashtag queen, so I created my own hashtag.
I remember last time we had a conversation on camera, you told me, I wasn't even on Instagram. I don't know if you remember this. Do you remember this?
No.
Okay, so I was like, I ain't getting on no Instagram. You was like, yeah, you got to get on there. You got to do the hashtag. You were talking about hashtags. And I was like, okay, nobody got time for that. Explain to people the importance of hashtags. First of all, what are hashtags?
Hashtag is the £. You
True.
can find it on your phone. Some people call it the tic-tac-toe board.
Okay.
But a hashtag is basic when you're using social media. It's basically windows to your social media page. That's the best way I can describe it.
Okay, so it's a bad description, but
Oh, was it?
it was pretty.
Okay,
pretty,
so hold on.
My grandmother still does not know what it is.
So hashtag, you use the hashtag sign, and then you write a word behind it. Whatever you write behind it with no space, then you give people the ability to find your page through those words.
Oh, that was good.
Or you have the ability to create your own storyboard if you're lucky enough to find a hashtag that hasn't already been used and you created your own. Is that better?
That's rare. That's rare, yes. Very good. And so people can search a topic, right?
Right.
So if they want to find out information about something that you're doing, right? Mm-hmm. They can search a hashtag. Could be your name, could be the project, and they can find out what a lot of people are saying about that topic.
Right, or pictures.
Or pictures, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so hashtags are very important in this age of searching information like that. And so you got me on that heavy. So thank you for that.
That's what's up.
Check is in the mail.
Waiting.
Yes. All right. So how would you describe yourself to people that do not know you? What do you do?
I call myself the creative mind. So I basically come up with different concepts to assist people with the elevation or the mastery of their craft or their business.
So you're like a promoter.
I'm like a consultant.
Consultant. Okay. All right. That's good. All right. So I want to start in the beginning. Now, don't even start this. I know the answers to these questions, but everybody does not know. So let's go back to the beginning. Where were you born?
Baltimore.
Look, see, you get 2 points for that.
All right.
2 points for being from Baltimore. So can we talk about, like, you have brothers and sisters?
I do. I have 2 sisters and 1 brother.
You
I'm
are
the
the oldest? Baby.
Yep.
Okay. That says a lot. That says a lot. So you're spoiled?
What? It's like, yeah.
Okay, so family of entrepreneurs or?
Yes. Mom, dad, sister, both my sisters and my brother.
So you got this, you got it honestly, and you got it early.
Very early. Very early.
What was your first job?
My first job or my first business?
No, first job.
My first job was, I just told a story yesterday. I don't even know why I'm stumbling over it. My first job was at Robert C. Richard.
Dang, showing your age. Showing your age. Black don't crack. Right? Okay, so Robert C. Richards, it was a clothing store.
Right. Everybody used to use their bags as a book bag.
Yes. That's some hood shit right there. That was only in Baltimore, I think, right?
I don't know.
I don't think that was all over. One thing that you learned from your first job that you still use now.
The art of negotiation.
Okay.
You want me to expound on it?
Please.
All right. So at the time when I got my first job, I went in. I was very confident. I filled out my application, and I was so ready, right? And so one of my good friends had told me how much she was making at her job, and I was like, "Oh, dang, that's a lot of money." So when they asked me how much was I expecting to get paid, or how much did I want to get paid, I said $7.25. Like, that was a lot of money, I thought then, right?
That was the hourly wage you wanted?
$7.25. And I was just like, so confident. And then I went and told my mom, I was like, "Ma, she asked me how much I wanted to get paid, and I told her $7.25. And she was like, "Oh, good, that's minimum wage." I didn't even know what minimum wage was.
How old were you?
I was probably like, I had to be like 15, 16. But I had no clue what it was. And so when she broke it down to me, I was like, "Dang, I should have said $8." So that always stuck with me, to kind of do my research so I can negotiate properly.
So the best way to negotiate is how? If you wanted $8, right? We're lowballing it here, but let's say you wanted $8, right?
Right.
How would you have done that?
I probably would have kind of like went a little bit higher. So I would have went higher, kind of put all my cards on the table as far as like my skills and what I could offer, and then gave myself some bargaining room.
And then they would have tried to talk you down a little bit. Exactly. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that. Would you have been willing, or correction, maybe now, then it's probably the wrong. As far as negotiating now.
As far as with a job?
Whatever. Are you willing to walk away from the table?
Absolutely.
If you're insulted?
Hands down, yep.
You have to be, yeah. Everybody doesn't do that. You have to be able to do that.
Because everybody doesn't know their value.
Value can be subjective. I was just talking about subjective things.
That's why I laughed.
Oh, wow, that was crazy. I just saw that. Okay, that was crazy. Okay, so wrestling is on in the background, and I just saw 3 people that I know and have employed wrestling. Random information. Okay, so I'm so mad at that. Okay. All right, so let's get back to you. Now, as far as the entrepreneurship, what was your first business?
My very first business was a snowball stand called Something Extra on Windsor Mill.
Okay.
It was in the parking lot of the Corinthian.
Oh, yeah, this is some Woodlawn shit. Okay. What do you mean in the parking lot?
It was the stand was actually in the parking lot. So it was offset to the side.
Sure.
It was in the parking lot. So yeah, my people's yeah.
Okay. All right. and you just kept going from there.
Right. So my dad, I don't know if my parents I didn't want to go to camp. I knew I didn't want to go to camp. I was too young to have a regular job. And so I think my parents just wanted to keep us active during the summertime. And so they came home and they were like, "Look, this is what we're doing." And I was like, "Okay, bet." And so they sat down and they taught us about the importance of debits and credits. And they had this, remember back in the day, they said you could go to Staples or Office Depot or something, and they had those books with like the ledger. So you would write in there like how much money you started off with.
Sure.
And then, so we had one of those books. It was the record book. It was green and it said record on the front. And they started off with how much money we had, and then we broke it down from there. And then he told us about how much our rent was and everything else that we had to take care of. And then we went to the store. We went to DePaulo and Sons, got a snowball machine and everything else.
And the rest is history, as they say. Very good. So the thing about it is that if you taste entrepreneurship early,
it's a hard road when you get older, because you understand what freedom looks like with making money. So when you go into employment, you have those questions like Steve Harvey said, what qualifies you to be in charge of me? And then you struggle with it.
Yeah. Okay, look at you. Did you grow up a reader?
Yeah. Yep, I sure did.
Like leisure, or were you forced like me?
It was leisure. The first book I think I ever picked up was Fly Girl by Omar Tyree.
What about writing? Did you write?
Yep. I wrote. I'm a pretty creative person. I have a slight artistic ability. So, whatever I told my parents, basically, like I was like, I wanted to dance. They were like, all right, fine, get in dance class. I was like, I want to run track. They put me in track. If whatever crazy idea I had, they did a great job with cultivating me because they were just like, all right, well, let's try whatever it is until we're tired of spending that extra money on her.
So reading your book, going through your book, I wondered when you actually started writing the book, because you kind of reference your childhood, you reference different things in your life. Was this something, do you keep a journal, or did you keep a journal, or were you just able to recall things as you were writing the book?
I have a great memory. So I started writing the book a year ago when my supervisor passed away. And I started as therapy, just writing. And then from there, as I was going along, it flowed. Like the whole thing flowed. I did have to stop at certain points because I was waiting for like my event that happened in spring. I had to wait until after that was finished so I could tap back into the book and talk about the experience. But most of the things that I wrote about in the book, it just flowed until I got pressured. And I called this guy and I was telling him about how I was so excited. I wrote this book and this, that, and the third, and I just needed some pointers. And then he kind of like pooped all over my dreams because I told him I had like 15 to 20,000 words. And he was like, oh, yeah, you're writing a pamphlet. And I was like, no, I'm writing a book. And he was like, no, a good book, a nice size book has 40,000 words. So then I had to really sit back and kind of go through and create a timeline, which I hear a lot of people do when they start writing a book. But I didn't do that in the beginning. So I had to recreate, my book and then do a timeline. And as I created that timeline, then that's when the things started flowing again.
And then things started falling into
Right.
place. So what prompted the book?
I've written several books. I just never actually went all the way. And so this.
So you got a first base, second base.
I got like first base, second base, and then it was just like almost a third, and I was like, nah, I don't like this story. Mm-hmm. And then I let some people talk me out of it, thinking that it was going to be so hard to do. And this was when I was younger. Now you can't talk me out of many things, but so I guess like while writing the book, it just made me feel like, you know what, I'm going all the way. Like, it doesn't even matter. And I know when you're an entrepreneur, it's always great to have a product. You got to have a tangible item that you can put in someone's hand.
So, we're friends on social media, and I see a lot of the things that you do. You're inspiring people, and you're giving advice, and you're having, what do you call it? The phone calls where people are calling in and listening and these type of things. So it seems like the book that you wrote, Elevation Has a Price Tag, is a natural progression to kind of continue to talk to your base.
Right.
How has the reception been since you released it?
It's been incredible. I have people call me on the phone crying. Like I had 3 people in one day call me on the phone crying. And I was like, I don't know if I can handle this. I mean, I've gotten text messages where people have said, like, I'm right at this place where you were in the book. Like, I'm at that place in my life, and I feel like I'm having a breakdown. Or I've had some people that said, like, you inspired me to go ahead and start, my business. Some people are like, I'm quitting my job. Anything you can imagine as far as, like, positive response, I've heard it. People are buying multiple books. My sister uses the book for her staff training. I have a cousin in New York who bought books for all of her employees. I had another cousin who called me and was like, I'm buying books, like, tell me where to go because I heard it's so good. She didn't even read it. She's like, I heard it was so good that I need to buy this for my staff. And I'm like, all right, bet. Well, here, like, so it's been going pretty decent, you know. I'm at like 420 books officially 4 weeks. So it's been pretty
That's
decent to be indie.
Yeah, absolutely. What? How would you describe the book? Would you describe it as a self-help book? Is it a business book? What is the book?
I think it's really a motivational book. I mean, when I started writing and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna write this story. I don't think people really want to hear about my life story, but so many people have asked me so many different questions about how do I constantly create or how do I constantly get to the next place, and they might be stuck. So I was like, I'm just gonna write it all down so I don't have to keep talking. But I feel like I'm talking even more now.
How do you feel about imitation?
I think that it can be. Somebody just said this to me today.
You gotta stop stealing my stuff.
I think imitation it definitely can be a form of flattery, but when you go too far, it's definitely annoying. I mean, it's stealing.
Yeah.
Period.
Is this something that you this is something that you have experienced?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Do you call people out on it?
Yeah, sometimes depending on how I feel, depending on how far you go. So like I do a vending event. So if people decide that they were inspired to do a vending event, well you can pay me and I can teach you exactly how I do mine, and we can go that way. But if you're like mimicking every single thing like that, then yeah, I might call you out on it.
Yeah. I mean, this is Baltimore, and we definitely have people that like to borrow and not put things back. You know what I mean? I've definitely experienced that. Writing the book, did you learn something about yourself that you didn't know going in?
Yes, because I felt like I was a person who never completed a task. And so I always felt like I had loose ends somewhere, and even with dropping out of college. So writing the book just taught me that I truly had the endurance to start a task and complete it to its fullest. So it motivated me to know, like, all right, the next thing you touch, you're going to be able to start and go all the way through.
How can people get the book?
My website, my website is overaccessorized.org. Or it's Malika's on 2437 St. Paul Street.
Okay. Audiobook.
I'm working on it.
Yes, that's very important.
I was gonna ask you about that.
Yes.
We'll talk offline.
Okay, yeah, let's. Yes, I highly recommend that.
Yeah, I've had a couple of people that asked me about audio and they asked me about Kindle, but one thing, and this is for anybody who writes a book, one thing that I would recommend is for you to kind of do a little bit more research. I was just jumping in, so I didn't know that you had to have an ISBN number for every single type of book that you have. So you have to have one for the physical book, you have to have one for the like the Kindle or the digital version, and then you have to have another one for the audio. Yeah. So if I would have known that I needed all of them, then I would have purchased them all at the same time in a package deal.
Word. It has a price tag.
Give me a hand clap for that one.
You need a hand? Okay. Those numbers have a price tag. But yes, very important.
I mean,
Yeah. I mean, I know. I'm writing a book now, but so yeah, very, very important. But once again, you have some events that you do, and I want to talk a little bit about the Girls' Night Out.
Okay.
What is it?
Girls' Night Out is just like a big shopping party. I always say it's a ladies' night out for women to come out with their moms, friends, sisters, and coworkers, girlfriends, so forth. But what I'm learning is that these guys are slipping through the door because they're like, it's a girls' night out. Where else do we find women?
Exactly.
So we've had a nice turnout for guys, but It's a shopping event. I wanted to be able to assist other entrepreneurs with reaching a new audience. Some of them meeting their customers for the first time because they're doing business all online. I know that when you get in front of your customer, it's easier for you to sell yourself versus the product, and people buy into people and personalities, which makes them buy more. So I wanted to be able to do that. I wanted to donate. So I donate to nonprofit organizations. And I just want to have a good time. And I have to go to the club. So that's it.
What's wrong with the club?
I just don't always want to go.
Yeah. There is more to life than the club.
Right. And when you get older, that scene gets a little different.
Well, shout out to all of the 70-year-old people that was at the Odell's reunion.
I know, that's right.
I understand what you're saying.
And that's the only time they come out.
Right, that's true. When is the next event?
The next event is November 13th at Diamonds Event Center, 9980 Liberty Heights, Liberty Road. It's in Randallstown. It's from 3 to 7.
Okay. Oh, good. I will be there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay.
So,
and they can also buy tickets for that event. It's $10, so they can buy tickets online as well at overaccessorize.org. All of my vendors, mostly all of them, have tickets.
Okay. So vendors, and you have a lot of repeat vendors. A lot of people that have events don't always have the repeat vendors. And so you have a lot of repeat vendors.
My repeat vendors come back because, one, they know how to sell their product.
Yeah.
And two, they're making good money. I have vendors who make thousands of dollars at this event. I have some vendors who come for the first time and then they drop out and they think that it's because the event wasn't good and they weren't selling, but they don't know how to evaluate or reevaluate their product or their sales or look at what they could have done differently. So they just, fall off and be like, I didn't really make any money, so I'm done with this one. But the truth of the matter is I give the biggest event as far as a girls' night event or shopping event in the city. So because of that, we know that it's proven record that you can make money. We've been doing it. This is our 9th one. But people don't take advantage of the trainings. I give trainings on how to be a star vendor, vending 101, how to make money, as far as vending, how to present your products. I teach it all. I consult with a lot of different vendors on how to do it, but they don't want to invest in their business, so they don't want to pay for the classes to be able to get the information. And I think some information is worth you paying for.
Yeah, that's
especially mine.
That's a good way of looking at it. I think a lot of times people create businesses that they want to create, right? And I don't think that's what you should do. I think that a business is best when there's a demand for a product and then you start the business.
I don't think it's just the demand, though.
Yeah, I mean, you already need to have a proven concept that this is something that somebody wants. If you just make something and you're like, okay, I think that people will want this.
I don't think that's true.
Well, expand on that.
I think that creating a business has something to do with a need, a want, a demand, or a passion.
Passion does not create
Listen, let me tell you why.
dollars.
Yes, it does.
Please tell me more. Tell me how.
Why we gonna do this?
Because I found something we disagree on, and I want to zoom in on it. How can your passion for something that nobody wants?
So
how can that be business?
I look at it like this: how many people in Baltimore gave girls' night out events?
I don't know the numbers.
Not many. It was very low, and those don't play with me. This fool is looking around at his desk. So the numbers were very low, right? And they were very unsuccessful events. No shade. But
whenever people say that,
it wasn't meant to be shady. But this is the thing. I created a good blueprint, right? And because I created a good blueprint, and I knew I worked on it. I worked on this. I built it up for a very long time before I jumped out there. I'm passionate about helping others win. And so because of my passion on helping other people win, I was able to create dollars off of that as well. So, the record wasn't very proven. What are you writing down? If you write down boo, I don't want. Let me see.
I gotcha. You just proved my point.
What? I'm talking about
was
here.
Not created.
I didn't.
Your example.
I didn't create girls' night out
Correct.
events. I didn't.
No,
but
you saw the demand.
I saw.
But you saw that it was not being done properly. So
right.
then you
but
did
it was my passion that
that's
made
my
it
point.
win.
No. But that's not why you created the business.
No.
You didn't say like I got a passion for girls' night out.
No, I got a passion for people winning. I got a passion for people winning.
You saw, yeah. Well, I think your passion is what brought it over the edge. I do.
Because if you're trying to do it just for money.
Yeah, but I'm saying your initial thought came because you saw a proof of concept. There's a market here, but they're not exploiting it properly. Ooh, did I say exploiting? So they're not doing it right. And then so you said, I'm going to come in here, I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to make Walmart the black version. But you know what I mean.
Well, and I'm fine with that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But everything that I do, I make sure that I do it because it's not for the money. It's really because I want to do it, or I really love it or like it, or it's deep down inside of me, because I've learned over the years when you're doing something strictly for the money, it's going to be harder.
Question.
Yes.
Okay. You're in an elevator. Okay. You're in an elevator, and
I hate elevators.
The lady from Precious, both of them, the mother and Precious, on the elevator, right?
Are you talking about Gabrielle?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Both ladies on the elevator, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm not finished. 2 more fat people get on the elevator. And Oprah. What do you do? Let me set the stage.
You play with me.
She has an extreme fear of elevators.
I don't have an extreme fear of elevators.
And she counts the amount of weight in her mind of people in the elevator, and she wants to jump off the elevator. This is what she says in her book. Elevation has a price tag. So, of course, Oprah's on the elevator. You would want to pitch to Oprah, but your fear may kick in. So what do?
I'm never afraid of anything. Let's get that straight.
So fear is the wrong word.
Okay. So
there are 4 large women on this elevator.
I'm checking the capacity.
We're over capacity.
You play too much.
Because Oprah's on the elevator, you're on the elevator. That says actually it's going to push us over to 2250.
I'm off.
That's what I thought. We don't need you, Oprah. Social media. How important is social media to your business and everything that you're doing?
Social media is very important. But wait, let's back up. Okay. Before I get off of that elevator, I'm handing her a card and a book. So, just to let you know.
You know what Oprah's going to say? Give it to the fat girl beside me. She holds all my books.
I don't care.
I got you. Very good. Social media. How important is social media to what you're doing?
Social media is very important because I'm able to touch a large group of people. I have people that come up to me every day and say that they met me through social media. I'm like, no, you really didn't meet me, but okay. But they say they follow me. They're seeing my book all over the place. So I know that it's very important because it's just another vehicle to get me to, the next level. Question
for you. A lot of times I talk to business owners or people that have, something that they're selling. Mm-hmm. And they believe, some people, that they should have a separate social media page for their business and a separate one for their personal life.
Depends on what you do.
What are your thoughts on that? I personally don't believe that you have to do that. But what are your thoughts?
I think it just depends on what you do. So if you own a boutique, I don't want to see your children. The only time I want to see your children is if you're selling children's clothing, or there was just like maybe a really cute picture of your kid falling in a box that you opened up and it had product in it, or maybe they put on your high heel shoes or something like that and you sell those shoes. Then yes, by all means, put your kid on there. I'm not posting my kid, but you can do that. The other thing is that you don't ever see Gucci, Fendi, Prada, Macy's, Walmart, Target. Their family is not included in their business page. They have 2 separate pages. And so a lot of times we have to learn how to market like a big box store versus a small business.
Okay. I mean, I hear you.
But wait a minute, hold on.
Sure, I hear.
But then, so say
You know
maybe,
I don't agree with that, right?
huh?
You know I don't agree with that, right?
I mean, it's fine. It's fine. I think because people get too personal, they don't have the professionalism that they
That's
need
true.
to have. So separate the two and just be done with it. The other thing about it is that say if you're a counselor, a pastor, a motivational speaker, something on those lines, even like a DJ. All of that stuff, you can kind of combine that stuff because you might live the nightlife. And so in order for you to portray exactly, the message that you're trying to get across to the people, you might have to keep that thing together. So you can show I'm out in the night, this is the thing, this, da, 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 so on and so forth. Yeah, I would keep that as one. But it really just depends on what your business is or what your profession is.
So the store, so I guess any type of store, your opinion would be separate. And I think there's a place for the separate part. There's a place for it. I guess, so you think that you can post too much personal stuff?
Yeah, people overshare.
Overshare.
Mm-hmm. Stuff like, I think it's inappropriate to show pictures of people having babies.
Yeah, I don't
your
like
kid
that.
laying on your chest after you had the baby. They still got the little ooh, gook, and guck on them.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah,
showing pictures of family members who have probably lived a very great life and they've always been very refined in public, and then you show a picture of them in a hospital bed, the casket shots, baby mama, baby daddy drama. Even when people are having emotional breakdowns, I think that they can sometimes cause issues with your business.
I like to see the baby mama, baby daddy drama. I also like to see the emotional breakdowns. I don't like to see the other things that you said. And let me tell you why I like to see that. Because when we really started getting into social media, we went through a period which everybody was being fake, and everything was great. Everybody had all this money. Everybody was a CEO. Everybody was a model. Everything was lovely. And then after a while, people, the facade started falling apart.
And he was like,
and then people started bringing, their personal stuff. And then it started to seem more like regular life because everybody ain't smart, everybody ain't paid, and everybody ain't cute.
Yeah, but social media has also caused a lot of divorces, breakups,
and these things needed to happen.
issues.
And these things needed to happen. And these things needed to happen. Now, whether it happened, now or whether it happened 10 years from now,
I think just some
things
are still supposed to be kept private. Just my personal opinion.
Now, a lot of those breakups happened because guys were in people's inboxes and they didn't log off when they
guys
left
and females.
And females, right?
Yeah.
That good. I like to see that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's what I do. I like that. All right.
Whatever.
Okay, so we have over accessorized. We have elevation has a price tag. What is next? What else have you not done?
What have I not done?
Yeah, I mean, you've done everything.
Well,
just call it life.
No, I have an event coming up in December too. So I have November, December, and January on lock, right?
Okay.
So November is Girls Night Out. December is last Wednesday. I don't know if you saw last Wednesday on social media. So it was just like this private text, and it was a text message that was sent out on Sunday and was like, "Hey guys, I'm going to be at such and such a place." Well, it was Mount Washington.
It was like some top secret stuff.
Yeah, it was just
I remember seeing that.
Yeah,
I said, it's top secret?
And it was just sent out, and I was like, hey, guys, I'm going to be here. Have one last drink with me. Bring one of your friends with you. And so they were like, okay, and I had 30 people RSVP. When we got to the restaurant, 152 women showed up. So I thought that was pretty dope.
They let them all in?
Yeah, they let them all in. They wasn't turning their money around. They let them all in. They gave us one of their rooms to the side. We weren't even supposed to have it. It's a room that you're supposed to rent. But because so many people showed up, they had no choice but to open it up, right? And so we did a full introduction. Every woman in the room introduced themselves, talked about their business or, what they were trying to do and so on and so forth. So so we already did the introduction. So next Wednesday, which is December the 28th, we're going to do it again, and we're going to do a little bit of work this time.
Okay.
Then,
so you have to. Am I going to get an invite to this one? No.
No.
Okay, that's all right. I think I got an invite to the other one. No, I was in somebody else's phone. Never mind. All right. So January. What's coming up in January?
January January is our Vision Board Brunch. It's just January the 7th. It's the first Saturday. We try to always have it the first Saturday in January. And that is going to be at the Owings Mills Library.
Okay, that's real bougie. Okay.
Well, I had it at Towson's Library last time. It was really good, but they booked their own thing.
All right, so that is wonderful. I told you that someone jacked your book from me.
Of course.
And I'm serious. I want to let you hear this. I'm gonna let you hear this. But I definitely recommend people to pick up the book. Elevation has a price tag. They can get that. Oh, there it is. And how can they get that again?
You can purchase the book on www.overaccessorize.org, which is OVERACCESSORIZ as in zebra, ed.org. Or you can go to It's Malika's 2437 St. Paul Street, right at 25th and St. Paul. Yeah, I almost lost that one.
And social media and all that good stuff.
So my social media is Gorge in Gold. When you purchase the book, you'll see all of my social media on the back of the book. But it's Gorge in Gold, so it's GORGEINGOLD. And it's the same across the board: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And then we have our Over Accessorized Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter as well.
And Over Accessorized tickets available now?
They're available now. They can purchase it on the website.
Okay, yeah. So I'm glad. I'm glad that you're always selling something, because business is good. Thank you for putting up with me, because I could be a handful.
You were definitely good.
I could be a handful. All right, so I'm going to be at Over Accessorize.
Yes.
Or I'm going to have somebody there.
Okay.
If it needs to be a girl, I'll have a girl there. If that's what needs to happen.
As long as you don't come in there and try to holler at them.
Try to holler at
the
girl
ladies
I bring? No.
No.
Somebody that works here?
Not the ladies you bring. I'm talking about the ladies that are there.
Oh, I've done that before.
My God. So it was you.
And
it was you though. It was you they were complaining about.
No. And I have scored. Okay. All right, we got.
I'm done. God bless. Thank you guys for having me.